From here on out, I need to give you the belief there are no rules anymore. You write the rules. There's no constraints. There's no boundaries. The guardrails on the bowling alley are down. There's no shoulds. This is GTA or Skyrim, and there's no borders. You can just keep going. There's no invisible wall. Okay. Get dangerous. Share something you have a fucking opinion about. The thing you don't want to talk about is the thing you should talk about. The main thing I want to cover is direction and identity. Since moving to Lima, I feel off the business side of things, not burnt out, but disconnected. There's a constant voice telling me I should be posting more, doing more, being productive instead of motivating me. It's just creating noise and making it hard to relax, even just being present here. Biggest challenge underneath it all is I don't feel clear on who I am and who I'm actually helping. I think that's going to be like one of the bigger pieces we talk about. Like my niche, my value proposition, feeling fuzzy without clarity. I try to build, but it feels like it's sitting on shaking ground. And I do think, although right now I can sustain my lifestyle, I think it needs to be more clear because I still want to help more people and make this not just sustainable, but something I can build and have real impact with. So the core question is, how do I find direction again in a way that actually fits with my life right now, not just work focused, but life impact? That's a good question, rather than just pushing harder with no direction. Yeah, so this is the idea of there's a forest of trees. Which one do we want to chop down? And the analogy that I can think of for a lot of business owners and a lot of coaches and people, and even maybe in this situation for you guys, is that I'm just fucking chopping trees down. Just fucking chop trees, you know? We can just, if we just move, it'll do something. But we have to actually pause to realize like why we're chopping the tree down and what tree we're chopping and what tool we're using to chop the tree. So by the end, I'm going to have some resources and tools that I think are going to be quite reflective for you. They're going to ask questions for yourself because they'll take maybe a bit of time to go through. So we won't be able to do it all because you'll sit down and write and reflect. Who do you help and why?
I genuinely feel like I don't have a target demographic of specific people that I help at the moment. And I've come to think that a lot of it is a result of doing a lot of in-person work where I'm in a gym and they don't filter like as much in terms of like who you help and or people to you as much. And like I've gone out there to interact with the people in the gym and leads you get, things like that. And I've had some of my best success through like a mixed demographic of human beings through doing that. And it makes me feel like I don't have like a specific like set of people that I'm like.
When you having the most fun and enjoyment flow with expression and sharing content, what are you talking about? What are you doing?
Expression, I don't know if this counts, but it's like sometimes like I'm with those clients that I really get along with on the gym floor, PTing them, and we're talking about something that isn't related to working out directly, but is like tangential to it. Maybe how you communicate with other people, or, you know, your relationship with like certain people and family and all that kind of stuff. Why the fuck you're in here in the first place? Like all those kind of conversations, like that's the biggest free flow state I get into, like, while also making them work out. Like that's something that I can definitely fucking do. But I'd say like that's the biggest flow. It's usually like communication, language, psychology. Yeah, things that people do that doesn't make sense, or like does make sense, but like that I think is unproductive.
So to reiterate, you're saying the content that you have the most fun with, that comes to you easiest, that you feel most energized by, that you're best at, communication, language, things that people do doesn't make sense, relationship. Is that right?
It's kind of just like when I'm in my biggest flow state, but it's usually, it's when I'm thinking about how you communicate with others.
If we look at your posts, you tell me communication, language, psychology. And you know what's great? I remember you said the same thing to me years ago. So knowing you so well allows me to be like, oh yeah, that's in him. If I look back at your posts and you look at your posts, what do I see more of? Body composition, nutrition and food, training, fat loss. I don't really, it's not that it's not there, but it's definitely not the predominant pillar. I don't see you sharing much of what you just said. The stuff that's the funnest to you comes easiest. Why?
Because I feel like I'm still supposed to be a coach that helps people with these things, which I know I can, and I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I kind of view it as, okay, just because you're posting it doesn't mean it always has to be the thing that is most fun or exciting to you, because there is still utility in posting some shit related to like fucking this is the kind of food you should eat at this time, you know?
I think we're talking about being useful, problem solving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. However, and I'm going to give you a framework that you can take with you later that will help give you a lot of clarity, but Jai is a brand. The brand essence of Jai is made up of a feel, the things he talks about, the way he talks about them, and his interests. The first thing I want to kind of get you away from is the idea of supposed to, shoulds, and have tos. I get the mentality. It's like, I should be posting this. I'm a coach. Let me confirm the identity with content that reflects that. However, like, it actually hasn't gotten you that far, and you haven't really enjoyed it that much, and it's been fuzzy and there's been friction. So telling you to post every day, that shit, is not going to work. You're probably not going to like it very much. You might resent the process, and it'll be half-baked. It just won't be that great, and it won't be fully you. Your brand is you. And if you don't express those parts of you that come the easiest, then it's like cutting off a limb. You just don't have access to like one of your major limbs to actually do good shit with. What I want to start with you is full expression, unfiltered. Kind of forget you're a coach, because people don't buy coaching, they buy coaches, they buy you. And if you limit the expression of these things that you're gravitated towards, that make up who you are, you talk about them anyway in your coaching, then you gravitate the wrong people towards you, and you don't really enjoy the shit you're doing. And if you don't enjoy it very much, then you don't want to keep doing it, and you have less energy to do so.
Yeah, I can see how you link that fuck off the shoulds, would, like, should do this and all that kind of stuff, because that's the exact same, that's like the exact same voice that speaks to me when I'm like, fuck, I should be posting. And I'm like, man, like,
yeah,
why?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I see someone else who, for example, like there's another coach that I think I've talked to you a little bit about. His name's Jason, and I met him online, and I met him in Thailand at Ben's camp, and he's like 10 plus years of experience, has like a good books full of people that 30 plus probably, and like allows him to like sustain his lifestyle. And he's just so laissez-faire and so honest with himself and others. He's like, I'm not the fucking hardest worker. Like, I'm probably like naturally a little bit lazy.
Yeah,
I can pump out all the work that I need to do in like this much time every day. And he was like just talking, and he'll fucking play Pokemon on his phone for like, because he likes it. Like that's his like switch off for like a couple of hours every day, like at a random time. And I look at someone like that, and he's not lazy. He fucking actually loves what he's interested in regards to health and fitness, but he's able to not just be like so rigid and with his routine and schedule, and like he doesn't have like like I need to be doing this or anything like that. I'm like, and I look at someone like that who's a bit more fluid, allows their energy to go where it's drawn to naturally. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I was better at that. And there's no reason I can't be. I don't want to use like a limiting belief there, but it's just like in my head, fuck, bro, like
think about it. Yeah. You've trained yourself, and you've been trained through all your influences over the years, partly including me, but I've changed since. But think about going to all these camps, being in Thailand, like that enforces a very rigid, structured, one-sided identity. But one thing I know about you, Jai, is you are not one-sided. You have always been very multidimensional from the moment I met you. If I look at Akshan though, I can just see him like blinders on, bodybuilding, that's it, fuck everything else. I don't see that for you. I don't think that would make you happy. I don't think that would create a life well lived for you from what I know about you. And so the first thing is just like even knowing that, giving yourself permission, like this is a mindset belief shift. It's like, we need to rewire. Like no more shoulds, expression. Just want you to express yourself. And you said a beautiful line, naturally, the energy that where you are drawn towards. And so we write a list of those things. And what I'll get you to do after this is write a list. I'll send you a summary of like, what are the things you're naturally drawn towards? How much do you post them and share them? Maybe not as much as you could or would want to, because your expression has been filtered through your identity, a rigid identity of being a coach. But you're not a coach first, you're Jai first.
It's exciting to me. I know it's like, it's an issue, but it's like an exciting issue to have to me, right? Because it's not fucking like, not everything like falls to shit if I can't solve this in a day. Like you don't solve it anyway. Like it's probably like a continual thing. Like you just said, like you've changed, like you keep changing and you keep leveling up and you keep making adjustments downloading DLC into like this version of you that you are. And like I got to remind myself that it's like that. For me, it's not just like, oh, like I feel stuck. It's like, bro, like you're not stuck. Fucking people tell me like all the time. Like I get so much love and so much positivity in regards to like what I've been sharing and like me moving over here. People telling me it's like, fuck, bro, like that gives me courage to do a similar thing.
Wow.
From so many people. And like that's such a fucking like that's literally like impact right there. Thinking more like, how do I actually impact these people, not thinking in other metrics. Like at the end of the day, I want to impact people.
Okay.
Somehow.
What does impact look like to you? What impact do you want to have?
Man, giving people courage to like fucking giving people courage to like act on some shit that they've been feeling, but they haven't actually like put into action yet. You know, similar to like what I'm trying to you're helping me with right now.
Yeah.
Ironically, yeah. Like I've noticed in my communication with people, I've been a lot more direct in a sense that when people tell me some shit where they're building issues or like they're creating walls in their own head or like someone else is creating, I'm very direct in telling them like, why are you doing that? Like you don't have to do that. Like no one's making you do this or that, or you could do this. Like if you get what I mean, like I'm a lot less tiptoeing around it being, and sometimes I have to be like, you know, I just bite my tongue because like I don't want to have this, like I don't have time for this conversation right now sometimes, and like I don't even know this fucking person. I don't need to be quit your job, dump your girlfriend. It's like like you can just like listen to them and like move on. But I've been very like direct like that over the past year or so, I'd say.
And I can tell there's this energetic thing of like you want to shake them awake, you want to like give people the courage to like to do the shit that they're kind of afraid to do or that is better for them. So if we look at how you express yourself online, which is just an extension of you, how much of your content and ideas do you feel do that? Like what percentage if you looked at them? From what I can see, it's not a high percentage. It's low.
Yeah.
Let me just be direct. It doesn't, when I see your diet stuff, it doesn't move me. Body composition, it's just like more of the same. Like I know Riley does it a bit and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit noise. It's just noise to me. But when I see you share a part of yourself and when other people do it, all of a sudden you get higher reception, higher engagement. People talk more. People feel it. I think your brand and your content has become more a persona of what you are told you should do and what you thought you should do instead of you. From here on out, I need to give you the belief there are no rules anymore. You write the rules. There's no constraints. There's no boundaries. The guardrails on the bowling alley are down. There's no shoulds. This is GTA or Skyrim, and there's no borders. You can just keep going. There's no invisible wall. Okay. This hit me because I needed to hear this because I was filtering. I got some shit inside of me. So do you. Get dangerous. Share something you have a fucking opinion about. The thing you don't want to talk about is the thing you should talk about. Get dangerous. Share something you have an opinion about. Fucking macros. You're much more than that. You're much deeper than that.
Fucking oath. It's the truth. And I think it's tested to that that even it's quite subtle, it's something that I noticed and like I'm like it doesn't feel right. Like something's off.
Yeah.
In terms of it's not all bad at all, but it's like, yeah, like I am filtering myself a bit. I am posting because I should sometimes. I'm sharing things because I feel like I should, because of this voice in my head that I've told myself, probably based on like influences and where I've been and like what I thought I wanted to do. And like I can feel that and see that. And I'm like, man, this stinks, bro.
Yeah.
Some people can like, if I wanted to just do shit that I should be doing, like, I don't know, I'd rather could do some other job and work for someone else and get told I should be doing something because I have to. But like I don't. Like that's not the lifestyle I'm choosing.
When you follow like Hormozis and Reese and like, you know, you have business coaches or around your influencers like that, or even like guys that we know, Jackson and like all of that, you see what they do and oh fuck, they're posting every day. The content looks like this. They're saying volume, just for, and you hear one narrative and you think that's the main way to do it. And then I go, this really nailed it in the coffin for me. I go speak to Eugene Tiao, and you know, we're sitting down together and talking about content and branding, and yeah, you don't need to post every day. What do you mean? You can post once, twice, 3 times a week. You know, post a couple times, and your brand can blow up, go viral. You can have great impact with just focusing on the quality and the piece of art you're creating. And if it really impacts people, like you don't need to do multiple times a day or every day. And he's an example of that. You should probably start with volume in the beginning. You've done that. And now we just need to get clear on like what tool we're using and what tree we're chopping down instead of just like fucking spazzing out, chopping all the trees. And so there's never been more evidence now of all different people who show that the rules of the game are all fucked up. Like there are multiple ways to make impact and win. And if I tell you to post every day with the current previous formula you had, you'd probably end up resenting me and it. If I tell you there are no rules, Instagram and social media is now interest-based, not following-based. So you can post one thing and reach 1 million people who don't follow you. Awesome. It's never been a better time. You just have to connect with people and post the right thing. So I'm giving you an example of rules that I used to think to show you that that's possible. And I want to show you something. Got it. Okay. This guy called Oscar Squats on Instagram. Don't look him up. Okay. See my man here? Day 258 of trying to overhead press the log.
Fucking go.
But let's see how he's doing. Will he do it today? Come on, son. Not today. Shit. Maybe tomorrow.
Shit.
Maybe the next day. Imagine if your idea to grow your brand was to do this shit. You'd say, huh? Are you retarded? Nope.
A little bit.
Jai, there are no rules anymore.
That's what I mean. Hey, bro, do you remember my to-do list? You might be a little retarded, bro. I'm not going to lie, but your curse is not your crutch. It's your staff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are no fucking rules, bro. Retard strength. That is your strength.
Retard maxing.
That's what Kiara did with her fucking post. She's like, I'm retarded. Like, not literally, but like, you get it. It fucking went viral.
Yeah. Now she has more clients than she knows what to deal with. It's stressing her out. She doesn't want a ton of clients. She has a waiting list of 10 people. I'm like helping her like juggle all this shit. She's full-time uni. It's like, it's a lot. Now, how the fuck did that happen? Is it because Kiara works harder than you? Is it because Oscar works harder than you? No. No, it's not. It's they've had the courage to express themselves without filter. And granted, Kiara took like 3-4 years to get to that point and had to suffer a lot to even have that story. But the impact and value and the connection is in you and your story, Jai. Removed the barrier of expression. No rules. We clarified that the topics that you really love to share are not really being shared, and I want you to share them because you want to share them and because you love them. The rest of who you are as a brand isn't just going to like come to you. It's helped through prompting questions, and this is inspired partly by the work that I did with Eugene, and then we ran it for our Trinity and Zion group, and we got some great feedback. They really loved it, and I'm just going to give it to you. It's a workbook that we made, and it has questions inside that allow you to reflect on who you are and how you want to express yourself. And you get out what you put in. So, as you know, up to you how much you want to do from this, but I'm just going to give you the tool and the resource. People have said it was really helpful, and it's probably the most helpful thing on content I've created. So it looks like this, personal brand. It's going to ask you questions like this. Now, we could have done this on our call, but we'd be here for 3 hours. What have you figured out that others would find useful? Because we should be useful. What excites you? What do you love to learn and talk about? What are your unpopular opinions? I love this question very much. It's one I feel very strongly about. I know you would too. It's the first piece. Then we have more pieces. What do you want to be known for? And a big piece of this is your story. What life experiences most influence your thinking? And you go on and on and on. What do you do differently to others? I find that quite helpful. What makes you different? And now you start to clarify your unique essence of who you are as Jai. And then the next piece is this. This is now a content topic. Content topic workbook. Now we have to define the brand, and then we go into prompting questions on, and this is kind of what we're talking about today. Like, what are the topics you want to talk about? No filter. And then there's a video that explains like how you can understand these. There's like topic and then subtopics. This is just an example for functional health. For you, yours might be communication or psychology. And then maybe a subtopic is things that people do that don't make sense, or cognitive distortions, or what's another one?
Good question. It's
Think about the topic like underneath psychology and communication. So it's underneath it. You can come back to it.
yeah, I'm slapping me in the face right now. I'm like trying to think of like what perspectives you talk to, or like, I'm thinking like off the top of my head, like useful ways for coaches to talk to their clients or useful ways to communicate with clients. But then I'm like thinking like content. Is that the kind of content I'd make? I don't know.
I'm going to pause there. I noticed that. Why are you talking to coaches?
That's what I mean. I'm like, fuck, I'm not making content for other coaches.
Like, are you trying to, like, if you want to talk to coaches, let's talk, because I'll get you, I want you in Trinity. I want you in Zion. I want you teaching. Like, since when do you want to coach coaches or talk to coaches? What? Maybe you do. Maybe
I get frustrations with like seeing how like lots of coaches might communicate with their clients, things like that, or just like say like it's not useful or things like that. And because I think I'm good at communicating, I'm like, fuck, bro, like I still like coaching. If you got this issue with this person, talk to them. Like this is like, I see it so much, and you can seriously, if you put at the core of the goal of every single fucking conversation is like you want to understand the other person, just like you said to me when I was talking about lacking empathy for my parents.
Yeah.
And like having a little bit of all that. If you just hold trying to understand someone else at the heart of like every conversation,
yeah,
you get the best fucking outcome, and you actually just solve shit.
Yeah.
Everything else you get caught up emotionally. And I just see that with a lot of like, I know like a lot of coaches who are doing help, like they're working with a lot of people. And I'm like, yeah, but I know the way you like communicate in this scenario, like, isn't that great? Like, I know you can't like solve this issue, or you're not doing it in a productive way. I think that's a thing.
Okay, a tweak. Use universal hooks. Use universal topics. So for example, there are times where I just talk directly to coaches, but again, a conversation I was having with Eugene that was impactful that I'm going to give to you is speak more universally, more broadly to people, and they'll feel like it applies to them more. So instead of like talking specifically like why you shouldn't speak to your clients like this, it doesn't just apply to clients. It actually applies to language in general, right? So you can deepen and broaden your level of impact and applicability that a message can have and land on people. Instead of casting a really small net to catch a couple of fish, let's just bring out the big ship, cast a bigger net by just tweaking language instead of just talking to coaches, which is not where you're trying to grow your business or life, from my understanding. Speak more universally. So from now on, I'd encourage you to, when you do create hooks, when you do have a prompt in the beginning of a video or a piece of content, we know it's not just coaches. Most of the world kind of suck at it.
That's the hook, right? Like most of the world suck at communication, or like something to do with like most of the world sucking at communication.
Some brands that come to mind that I might send you as an inspiration. See if I can remember. So this will all make sense once you like watch the video alongside with it, and it's done at a pace that's not fast like this. And then we turn topics into ideas. You do that with a couple of prompting questions. You grab a topic, it could be psychology. What have you figured out about communication, Jai, that others would find useful? What excites you about communication? What unpopular opinions do you have about psychology, communication, or language? And you run that. And then all of a sudden now you have like, oh shit, this is like a hook matrix. This is like a content matrix. And then you just pick the shit that excites you that you really want to talk about. But we create a system. We have a system for programming. We have a system for like, designing a nutrition plan. Why don't we have a system for ideation, for ideas? And by the way, you don't always have to be structured. You don't have to be rigid. You don't have to follow this. Like, this is like a meta point. But when you're confused and when there's fuzziness and when there's not clarity, bringing in intentional, like proven structure can be helpful to get the momentum going.
Amen. I have plenty of those days where I just feel like it's a bit fuzzier than others, and I can see exactly why that'd be useful. You can't be too much of a free bird all the
especially
time.
If it's not working that well and it's providing resistance. And the last one is this: you'll put your content into 3 different buckets, and this has been very helpful for me. And we're just a bunch of different formats that you can run with to give you ideas, and then a little template tool scheduler. So by the end of you consuming that, you should look at branding and content creation very differently, in a much more constructive, helpful way. And I'll finish on kind of my core filter now that I've written down. And I'll send this to you because this is very loose right now. It's like, what's the filter for me now? Because I just want to create shit that I want to create. Like, fuck you. Not you, Jai. Do you actually want to make this content? Number 1, do I want to express this message? If I don't, get fucked. I'm not creating shit because I have to, and I don't recommend you do the same like we talked about. Do I want to express this message? Oh no, I'm just doing it because it's like my fucking avatar. Bye-bye. Now, we want to be useful. Problem solving is incredibly fulfilling. Does it solve a problem my prospects, my people have? Okay. Not every piece of content has to be this, but often it should. We're problem solvers. We're engineers of the human sciences. Are you sharing something dangerous, something you have an opinion about? I want that to hopefully really hit you. Because when you create polarity, you connect with people deeply. I don't think your brand has grown very much recently or over the time I've known you is because you haven't done this. You've sat on a fence most of the time. It's been more general. You don't have to grow. Doesn't mean you can have a smaller brand and do amazing numbers and amazing impact. But I think there's a part of you that wants to express yourself here that's not being expressed. Number 4, what story can you wrap this up in that has happened to you? So when we're teaching something, for example, the email I just sent yesterday, I wrap the email up of like I could say like, we're doing a fire sale for nasal strips, $9, save 70% off. Or I wrapped it up in a story about the business lessons and why I think people shouldn't run multiple businesses at once until they've hit like their first mil. And I told that story. The last one, this is like pretty obvious, but we forget. Let's say you want more clients. Okay. If you want to attract your avatar, make content for them, dummy. Do they even like connect or like the content? Is it useful to them? So if I want to coach more coaches, Brother Saad, are you even talking to them? Because the post about relationships is not directly talking to them. It's connecting with them. It creates vulnerability. It's useful, but make sure you don't stray too far from actually like talking to your people. Now, I know you're still figuring this one out. Maybe potentially it's women more. We don't need to answer that right now. But these first 4 in particular, bang. How does this look and sound?
Sounds awesome. I'm actually really fucking excited to treat this. I'm in a position where I can treat digging into that kind of, digging into myself as the work that I need to do today. And I'm excited to really fucking peel back some layers and actually just sit down and be like, hey, like you're going to like actually think about these questions, not just be like, what do I tell myself I should do today? Like, no, sit there, fucking get uncomfortable with it. You might not answer the fucking question in like an hour. You might pump out a bunch.
Yeah.
Gonna need a couple coffees. Like, it's just, you're gonna have a good fucking time and play some music and like, yeah, like that's cool. Peel back and framing it like when you make it seem like, or when you point out that these shoulds that I give to myself, when you just outline that in general, I'm like, I don't fucking like being told I should be doing some shit. I'm the first person to tell someone else that. Why am I okay with this? And like, I'm just thinking of that in my head. I'm like, no, I'll fucking break out of the box.
Yep.
There are no shoulds.
Yep.
Be real, bro. Like literally like be real, be you. Worst case, just like share that thing that is your life.
Yep.
It's literally happening to you right now. There's content that is like content everywhere. You just got to want to make it. And yeah, I'm just excited. That's the overarching emotion.
Good.
And like, I'm doing exciting shit. I know that because people tell me like, I feel like that every day, man. Because I'm living a completely different life than what I've ever lived before up until the past 3 weeks. Every week's a little bit different too. So fuck, bro, I got loads to talk about.
You do. You just now need to express Jai, not the fucking page name. Not finally Jai. Jai.